Hey everyone, welcome back to Edu Expert, your smart learning hub. It was a misty morning in La Paz, Bolivia, and Javier, a young adventurer with a thirst for extreme challenges, stood at the edge of a narrow mountain path that had terrified locals for decades. The road in front of him was Yungas Road, famously known as the Death Road. Its history whispered of peril. Built in the 1930s by prisoners of the Chaco War, this road had claimed hundreds of lives with each twist and turn. Javier's heart pounded as he gazed down the sheer cliff beside the road, nearly 600 meters of jagged rocks plunging into an abyss. The dense fog blurred the horizon, hiding the next curve, and the heavy scent of damp earth filled the air. He knew that one wrong move could mean death, yet the allure of the path, its danger, history, and breathtaking views, pulled him forward. Birds called somewhere deep in the forest below, and a distant waterfall roared like a warning. This road wasn't just a path. It was a living story, a battlefield where humans had challenged nature's fury and often lost. As he tightened his gloves and mounted his bicycle, Javier felt a mix of terror and exhilaration, knowing he was about to ride a path that combined history, natural beauty, and mortal danger in every meter. The first few kilometers tested every ounce of his skill. The road was narrow, barely wide enough for a single vehicle, with no guardrails to prevent a fatal fall. Loose gravel shifted under his tires, and sudden patches of mud threatened to send him sliding off the cliff. Hairpin turns appeared abruptly, and fog swallowed the path ahead. Javier remembered tales of drivers who had vanished into the abyss, trucks teetering on the edge during rainstorms, their cargo scattered into the valleys below. His legs trembled as he pedaled carefully, balancing fear with focus. The descent from 3,600 meters in La Paz to 1,200 meters in the Yungas region brought rapid changes in temperature and oxygen levels, making each breath a struggle. At every corner, the jungle loomed closer, hiding the sheer drop from view, while rocks and tree roots demanded precise navigation. The road seemed alive, challenging him, testing his concentration, daring him to make the smallest mistake. Each pedal stroke was a negotiation with gravity itself, a dance along the edge of the impossible. Javier's mind raced, imagining every historical accident he had read about, and yet, the thrill of confronting such raw danger was addictive. As he descended deeper into the mountains, the stories of the Death Road's grim history became almost tangible. Javier imagined the hundreds of lives lost over the decades, truck drivers hauling essential goods, tourists unprepared for the treacherous twists, cyclists like himself caught off guard by rain-slicked mud and sudden landslides. He pictured the cliffs swallowing vehicles whole, with screams disappearing into the misty ravines. The thought sent a shiver down his spine, but also a strange resolve. He felt part of the road's story now, a chapter in its legendary past. The locals had always respected it, telling cautionary tales passed from generation to generation. Some whispered that the road demanded respect, that it judged courage and punished recklessness. Javier couldn't help but admire the audacity of those who had built and used this path, understanding that each successful crossing was an act of survival and skill, a testament to human resilience. Every twist of the road seemed to echo the voices of those lost, reminding him that nature was not to be taken lightly, and that life along this edge was fragile, fleeting, yet intensely alive. Hours passed like minutes as Javier continued his descent, the thrill of adventure mixed with the omnipresent danger creating an almost cinematic tension. He paused briefly at a clearing, where he could see the dense jungle below and the cascading waterfalls slicing through the mountainside. The beauty was hypnotic, yet the danger was always present, as landslides could strike without warning, and fog could erase the path in seconds. Cyclists and adventurers from all over the world were drawn to this road for this very contrast, the terrifying threat and the breathtaking scenery. Javier imagined the guides who led groups, instructing them to maintain calm, judge every turn, and respect the unpredictable nature surrounding them. Four-wheel drive vehicles navigated cautiously, their drivers constantly alert, understanding that this was not just a ride but a life-and-death negotiation with the mountains. The adrenaline was addictive, a reminder of the raw power of the earth and the extraordinary courage humans summon when confronting extreme challenges. It was a road that offered both fear and awe, and Javier felt that he was living a story that few would ever truly experience. As the sun began to pierce through the clouds, illuminating the lush green forest and the glimmering waterfalls, Javier reached the lower stretches of the Yungas region. He had survived the death road, but the journey left a mark deeper than any physical scar. The path had tested every part of him: his courage, his skill, his patience, and his respect for nature's overwhelming force. He understood now why this road was more than a dangerous route. It was a symbol of human audacity, a cultural artery linking remote communities, and a testament to Bolivia's environmental and historical richness. Birds sang, monkeys leapt through the trees, and orchids bloomed along the steep slopes, a vivid reminder of life thriving even in the most perilous places. Javier smiled, exhausted but exhilarated, knowing that he had become part of the road's living legend. The death road was no longer just a story he had read about. It was an experience etched into his memory, a tale of danger, survival, beauty, and human determination intertwined with nature's raw, unforgiving power. As he looked back one last time at the winding path that had challenged him so intensely, he knew that this journey would remain with him forever, a narrative of adventure that transcended words and became a story of life itself.